Sometimes I start wondering certain things, and this, what I'm about to tell you, is exactly one of them. So, because we tend to do a lot of hybrid and electric cars, certain jobs for us are not really a big thing, not a big deal. And I realized that I tend to record videos on things that I believe are, have that wow factor, like, oh, you are able to do that. Oh, so that's such an interesting job to do. And what tends to happen is other jobs that we don't think are worth a video, they don't get videos, as you can imagine. So what did I find out today? Well, I realized that I'm a bit biased on the decision of what has a wow factor or not. Because we've been doing this for so long and we've been doing, working with cars for so long that, for me, the wow factor was something like, even like a wet belt on a Ford 1 liter EcoBoost. It doesn't have the wow factor anymore. It's kind of like just common. But because a lot of people like ages viewers, I kind of just tend to record there and then, not every single wet belt we do, but I tend to just record, wet belts, timing chains on the Range Rovers, timing chains on Blues, more complex diagnostics that we do. So things that have the wow factor, but the thing I didn't notice is it has a wow factor on me and on fellow mechanics. The general public, for them, is really good, those ones, but there's other jobs that for them, it might look like they are complex, but they're not actually complex, and that's what happened with this. So, Lexus RX 400h. Now, these cars, they do suffer with overheating issues on the battery because this battery pack is being cooled down by fan system, so it doesn't have any coolant on it, doesn't have any liquid on it. It's just purely 3 fans, like you have the heater matrix fans, exactly the same, cooling down, pulling air and cooling down that battery, and the air is being pulled right underneath the seats inside of the car, and they tend to block with the debris, like whether it's dust or if you have pets, all the hair and stuff like that, everything just blocks up those filters, and the fans get super dusty. And this car being an 07 plate, it will be dirty. But the symptoms that you have as you're driving is that the battery will overheat, and then it will pretty much just shut down the whole system because the battery is overheated, temperature is too high, so the car, to be safe, it just shuts the car off. So when this customer asked us to do this and said, have you done this before, kind of like making it a big thing, it kind of pushed me back down to earth and make me realize that, for me, I've never recorded this because, I'm gonna take a cover out of a high voltage battery. I'm not actually repairing the battery. I'm not changing cells. I'll probably do a video if I was changing a cell, or even the changing of a cell is not that much of a deal. I'd probably do it if I had to do some sort of diagnostics to trying to find out which cell it is and trying to explain how it works and all of that. But then, as I'm just saying to you, I realized that, you need to bring your videos down because you guys at home would like to see some smaller things and simpler things. So today I bring you the Lexus RX 400h for battery cleaning. First of all, the battery is going to be underneath the seats. So what we want to do is we want to remove these vents and these caps, all of them. But what I'll do first is I'll go here and push these seats as much forward as I can to give me more space back there to work on this. This is what we're looking at. So these caps here, they'll just come out like that. They're just clipped in. Let's get these out of the way. You have another one here. You put the trim tool here, pull them out, and that one at the end, someone already done the job for us. Wow, look how just someone already been at it. Look how destroyed that thing is. Wow, people are just not careful at all. They just don't care. Let's get these vents out so we can have a proper look at it. Okay, so this is us done here at the front. We're gonna have to move now to the rear of the car. So yeah, back to what the plan was. We're now stripping these and these, getting this out of here. You can then pull this out of the way. Oh yeah, for sure someone's already been there. That's just a disgusting job. Like, they didn't put half the clips. So I can just push them forwards. They're gonna have to pull those trims off, or what is really just left of them. Yeah. It's one. Here is two of them. Don't need extension here. Take all these screws, keep them. So when I lift the seat, I don't just have everything falling on top of me. There you go. This and that. We have this. Vertically, yeah, they're out. Oop. Now, let's get these seats out, shall we? Just be careful with them, do not scratch anything. There you go. Let's just put them down here. Opa. And now to the other side. This is a double bench, so it will be a bit harder to lift it up. But come on. Well, what am I paying gym for? Be a chicken like that? Oh. Let's go. Okay. This now. Just stay there. Right. Now, we got to the point where we need to lift this carpet. Oh, I'm out of breath. Give me 1 second. Right. Now I catch my breath a little bit. That's it, really. Got me. We need to get this carpet off. And to do so, we need to remove side plastics there. And you also need to remove these clips. And after you're gonna remove the seat belt, there's a bracket there. Anyway, let's move on and I'll show you when I'm there. So, I don't really need to do it straight away now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it right now. So this is the cover for the service port. So in here, I don't know if I can position you right here. Let's have a look what I can do for you. Just there. Yeah, if I zoom in, I don't know how much quality you have on that. That's maxed out. Okay. So right in here, you have the service plug. So to do anything on the hybrid system of a car, you need to get to the service plug. If the cars don't have a service plug, which is very common, it's getting more and more common for that to be the case. You are gonna have to do Some cars you have to do it by diagnostic, deactivating the high voltage system. Some others like BMWs will have just a plug that you can pull out and it will disconnect the 12 volt system completely from that high voltage system, preventing any power from coming up. So, that's not how it should feel like. That been worked on a lot. And that is your service plug. So this is now cutting the battery pretty much in half. So breaking the circuit. If you see here, it's just a new shape. So it just closes the circuit. So the circuit is open now. So the car is now safe. We have full access. The high voltage battery. Wow, that's some wear marks right there for you. Cool. Need the 14, get that bracket out of our way, and start jupe. Prepare some drugs. It's just like you can die from this, people. It's just making, this is being open for sure. Like that tape. Wow. I mean, yeah. Wow. So, first of all, what you want to do is, I can't be asked to look on this one, but what you want really to do is you want to go to a source of voltage and make sure the multimeter is actually reading 1247. I have a reading. So, if I have a reading, I need to be able to have a reading there, if there was one. So, I've checked my multimeter, I have not moved anything on the multimeter, and I'm gonna check here. Bam, and bam. I have 0 volts. So, having 0 volts on these 2 pins, between this one and this one, is a clear sign that this battery is now safe to work. And I would even go as far as saying to you, you now tested the battery there. Let's go back into our good source of power here and confirm once again. There you go, 1247. That is reading voltage. So this way we make sure that the cables were good before the test and during the test, because I've came back and checked to make sure that nothing moved ever since. Right? Let's joke around, do a lot of things, but one thing I don't want you is to hurt yourself. Cool, all the bolts are out. You can now lift this cover securely and put it down. Let's have a look what we can see here. So, for those of you that are looking at this and thinking, what the heck? Yeah, you are correct. So, these are the battery cells. So you have here, there, and there. Each one of these plates here is a cell. The group of cells is a module. So you have one module here, one module there, one module there. Now, what else do we have on this? The contactors block. So you have pre-charge, you have negative, positive, and pre-charge contactors, and you have your pre-contact resistor. So this is what allows the influx of power slowly, so that you don't weld the positive contactor. So you open the pre-starter before, let the power rush in slowly, and then once it's equalized, the positive contactor can come on, and you have positive and negative after the pre-starter can go off. So you have positive and negative while you're driving. The pre-starter only comes when you start the vehicle, when there's no voltage on the lines, to equalize. These are the known fans, the ones known to fail. and to be blocked and dirty. Now the condition of this battery is a bit poor. I'm not saying in terms of voltage, but if you have a look down here, I don't know how well this comes across, but if you see here, so on this here, they didn't even put the bolt back, and the whole battery is just rusted, and you can see even a hole down there. Can you see that? And this pre-charger, the contactor block, look, it's not even tied there. I mean, the cells themselves, they look all right. You see nothing expanded, no issues at all, but this area is pretty bad. Like this would deserve a new case so that things could be bolted on properly. That is madness. Look, and I think that's the bottom of the car, where there's the car, maybe the car itself is rotten, allowing some water to come in, to rush in. Now, to some of you that might be wondering, what is this then? Well, this is the battery monitoring system, so BMS or BMU, whatever you want to call it. This pretty much makes every single one of these cells discharge at the same rate and charge at the same rate. So when you charging the car, this is not plug-in, but when you're charging the car, like for example with the generator at the front, is charging, this is splitting the power across all batteries the same, because you can't have, you know, battery cells with different voltages. It's going to throw off the system and going to throw you that fault code. So let's get going with what the job actually was, and that was to remove these fans So here's the fans. Right, we now got to the point where I've cleaned the fans, I've blown all the battery, cleaned everything to make sure, you know, it's to the highest we can in terms of cooling. We've done the best we could to try to cool down this battery. And there is that issue, we know about that already, we discussed that. But what I want to say to you is I'm gonna now put the battery back together and the whole interior of the car. So you've seen so far how it came out. Is just the reverse. So we're gonna do everything we need to do in reverse in order to put that battery back, trims, carpet, seats, you know, the whole thing. So once that's all done and dusted, you can call it, we will start the car, the high voltage system, make sure that everything is good, that nothing was left, you know, unconnected or not plugged in properly. We'll just do the checks, run a diagnostic test on it, try to see a little bit of what's the condition of things in there, and then that's pretty much it. The car is ready to go. Unfortunately, we have to break the bad news to the customer, but sometimes it's out of our hands.